Commandos. Cops, they serve and protect. Criminals, try to earn their respect. Commandos, psych when opposition is a threat to our seas. Govern the country against foreign enemies. First episode was the cop and the criminal. Now we got commandos like 5-star generals. Come to share their war stories from the streets to the pen all the way to overseas. Band of brothers on 3 separate paths. Bring them all together, now we got a podcast.
All right. Back in your life for episode number 7. Yeah, baby, we're here. All right. I'm excited to be here today. We didn't get any story submissions this week. That's okay. Because whenever you don't submit those, you're just going to get me talking about your poo-poo. That's what we're going to do. So I wanted to take this opportunity to thank everybody for tuning in and showing your support and love for what I'm doing here. This is so much fun. I'm just grateful to God to have this opportunity to bring this to you, and I'm getting to meet loads of cool people. It's the craziest thing, man, because when I started this thing, I was so nervous, and probably a lot of you could tell I was nervous. I still am a little bit, just not as much as I used to be, but I get real nervous whenever I get guests like today that's coming on. I don't understand what I did to deserve to have these good people coming on and sharing their stories with us. Just like today, I'm having a viral social media superstar, has 400,000 Facebook followers, and has a video with 10 million views. He's a retired police officer, retired Air Force person. He's gonna tell us all about his story later, but I just don't understand what I did. I reached out to his management company, and he got back to me the very next day, and he has nothing to gain from coming on here, but he's doing it to help me. And that's just how I'm realizing how cool people are, and how awesome this is, man. Like, and I've got, I'm not going to tell you who all's coming on in the future, because I'm booked up for the next month or so, and I've got some really interesting guests coming on that I think you guys are going to really love. And even if this isn't successful, I'm getting to meet people. I feel like I'm getting better at this. I get it sometimes. Sometimes I watch this and I'm like, oh, I'm not very good at this when I rewatch it. And I'm like, man. But, it gives me an opportunity to get better at something. I mean, anything that you start and you're not going to be good at it at first, and then you get better at it later. Just like when I was running 2 years ago, I weighed 235 pounds. I was running 14-minute miles. I was running 8 to 10 miles a week, and then I just thought, man, I was the worst runner ever. And now I'm running marathons. I run 45 miles a week. I'm running in the 8 minute per mile range, 8 to 9.5 if I'm having a bad day. And it's crazy the progression that you can do if you just put your mind to something and then just keep going. And even if you suck at something, consistency is key. You just got to keep going. Even when you suck, even when you think it's not going to work out, you just got to keep going. I've messaged them. I with this whole podcast thing, you guys would crack up if you saw all the people I've messaged trying to get on this show. I'll tell you a couple. I doubt they'll ever come on, but I messaged Steve Wilkos, that security guard that was on the Jerry Springer show. I emailed him to see if he'd come on. Of course, he didn't get back to me, but you never know. He might get back to me, but I've messaged some crazy people, dude, that I'm trying to get on. And then, the guy today, when I emailed him, I didn't expect a response because I've messaged hundreds of people to come on. I messaged I would say I probably message 5 to 10 people a day trying to get them on. And, and I get people to say yes, and that's pretty cool. I just think the elements to this show is going to be successful because you get all three of these groups of people to come on and share their story. And it seems like, man, almost every single person that you that we've met here has an interesting story, and it just kind of proves to you that we all have a story. We all have this a story to us, and it's interesting. You've got to dive into it, and it's just loads of fun getting to meet these people. And I don't know, this podcast served its purpose already to me. It's brought me closer to some friendships that were broken. I've had some friendships that were broken over the years, and this podcast has directly put me back in touch with those people, and it's changed my life for the better. We grow and get better. So anyway, I'll stop telling my sob story here, but it's not really, I'm excited. I'm being positive. So, but I did want to take this opportunity to thank each and every single one of you, for tuning in. I love all of you, and a free way to help me out would be just to share anything you see me post on Facebook. Share it. Share the videos on YouTube. You audio-only listeners, share it. Get the word out. Tell a friend about it when you're talking about it, because this is less of a podcast and more of a movement where we are going to try to bring these polarizing groups together, and we're all going to try to be one person. I know not everybody's going to agree with my views on here, but if you don't agree with my views, I'm open to discussion. Like we had an African American on, like he doesn't like to be called African American, but I'm an ex police chief, and he is on the George Floyd side of things. And I mean, I am too, don't get me wrong, but right now it's odd for two people like that to come together and have a civilized conversation. And I believe we proved that we could. And me and this guy are friends now. He's a good guy. He's got an interesting story. He's very intelligent. He's 10 times more intelligent than me. He made me realize that I need to read and get more information up. And so, I want to start this movement of bringing everybody together and show that these people that the media and everybody else is telling you cannot get along. I'm going to show you that we can all get along. And if not, I'm going to whoop each and every single one of you if you don't get along. Don't make me come down to wherever you're at and whoop you, because I'll do it. I'm going to get you. You hear me? Okay. I got a video submission. I saw this on Facebook. His name is Randall Barnett. He's a young man that's in the military, and he's over in Germany right now. And got a video submission of him teaching kids how to skate. And that's this week's Caught You Being Good. And Randall, we caught you being good, dude. So let's watch these videos. And for you audio only listeners, I will describe to you what's going on in the videos. So let's check it out. Here's the first video. They're just really short clips, so let's check it out. I parked my chair far away from my mixer. This is going to be tough. That was Randall Barnett. That he was putting a little baby, a little toddler, probably 1 or 2 years old, trying to put him on there, and he looked timid. Didn't look like he might not have wanted to do that, but he was trying to get him there. Let's look at this video too. We gotta take
Oh, he knows it.
Uh-oh, that was loud. Yeah, so that was video 2. He put like a 10-year-old on there and got him to skate. So that's Randall teaching the kids how to skateboard over there in Germany. There's tons of good people doing good things out there, and it's good to see the younger generation doing stuff like that. So good job, Randall. We here at Cops, Criminals, and Commandos, we caught you being good. We need to do that more often. We need to stop trying to catch people being bad. We need to start catching people being good. You know what I'm saying? And for all you that's wanting T-shirts too, I'm in the process of buying a maker. My buddy who makes shirts, he's an assistant chief. He's in administration, and he's got his hands full, so he's not gonna be able to make them. So I'm gonna have to make them myself. And so I'm gonna get a maker. I'm gonna start making shirts for everybody, because they're pretty cool shirts. And you're walking around in one of these bad boys. Woo, man! If you're a guy, I swear, when I wear this out in public, girls just talk to me all the time. They're like, "You're so hot with that shirt on." I'm like, "I know that doesn't happen. I'm just kidding." If my girlfriend's listening to this, I hope she's not. She doesn't listen. She doesn't pay attention to it anyway. So, all right. So let's move on to today's interview. I'm so excited for this, and if I seem nervous, I'm not. No, I am nervous. He's coming on here and gracing us with his presence. His work ethic is unprecedented, and he's going to tell us all about his history and what he's doing now, and he's even going to perform one of his songs for us, his original song. So I'm excited to bring to you guys today the one, the only, Philip Paz. Okay, Philip, thanks for joining us here on Cops, Criminals, and Commandos today.
How's it going, Zach?
I'm doing good. So the thing that sticks out to me the most about you is your work ethic. And I like to derive things from people like you to put into use for myself. So that's what I want to pick your brain about today is I just want to know your story. Start from the beginning. When you got into the military at what age? A quick bio on me. I joined the United States Air Force Reserves in 1979. I spent 24 years in the security police field. Traveled around the world, had a lot of fun, got to do a lot of things. Saw a good part of the world, and I retired from the Air Force as a senior master sergeant in 2004. Since that was the reserves, I was able to join the Oklahoma City Police Department in 1991. So that time overlapped, and I spent 29 years with the Oklahoma City Police Department. The entire time I was riding around a black and white police car, answering 911 calls and patrolling the streets. During that time, I was also a member of our tactical team, which is basically SWAT. Most departments call it SWAT. I did that for 25 years while I was on the department. I was a team leader. I was a SWAT sniper operator, and I had a lot of fun doing that. And in April of this year, that was a heck of a ride during my career. I had a lot of fun, but let's face it, every good thing comes to an end. Life goes on, and I got to realizing that there's other aspects of life that I wanted to try out. In 2012, I got into acting. I started taking acting classes at a place in Norman, Oklahoma called the Actor Factory. So when I took my first acting class, I had the bug, and I knew that's pretty much what I wanted to do. And also, I've been singing my entire life. When I was a little kid, I used to sing all the time around the house. I used to sing growing up in church. And I just love to sing. I sang at different venues around town, getting my feet wet because I really like to sing. And in 2018, I was at work one day. I was driving home from work, actually, and I'd put in this little app on my iPhone called Smule, and it's basically a karaoke type app. So on the way home, I pulled over into a parking lot, and I recorded a song called Easy by Lionel Richie, or the Commodores. And I put it online and on my Facebook page. Well, the next day I had
like 8 million views, and it went viral, and that was like 2-3 years ago. And since then, it's gained even, you know, millions of more views. And I thought that was really, really fun. I mean, Lionel Richie himself shouted out to me on his social media and told me good job. It was a pretty good deal. So anyway, I kind of got the bug there, putting songs up on my Facebook page for the last couple of years. And since then, I've just gotten, you know, I've gained a pretty good following. I don't really personally understand the attraction because I'm kind of like a funny looking guy, and but I just like to sing. I think I smile all the time, and I try to make people happy, and I think that's where the draw is. People like to listen to me sing, and it makes them feel good. I get a lot of messages from people saying, "Hey, we're having this bad period in our lives or in our families' lives. We have these bad experiences. We found you on Facebook. We found your songs, and you just really make us feel better." And which is what you know. That's basically all I care about is making people happy, and I hope they enjoy listening to me sing. And so, I mean, that's pretty much in a nutshell. I'm married for almost 40 years. I've got 3 kids, are all grown and pretty much off doing their own thing. My daughter had our first grandkid last August. He's about 10 months old now, and my pride and joy. So living retirement is really, really nice, man. I just, the wife and I get up and we just do whatever the heck we feel like doing. And, you know, I sing my songs and I practice my acting. And hopefully when this COVID stuff goes away and we can get back to relative normalization, I can really get into the music and the acting stuff and make something happen there. That's what I'm really working hard trying to do. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you right now, I'm not very good at judging the looks of other males, but I will tell you, if anybody thinks that you're ugly, then just go look at your comments on YouTube. It's pretty apparent that women do not think you're ugly at all, man. I was going through there and I was like, oh my God, these women are terrible.
Yeah, it's yes, I do. It's and my wife reads them too, and it's really a lot of fun. We really I appreciate the heck out of all my followers and the awesome comments that they leave, and you know, as long as they're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, and your wife, it doesn't bother your wife, all those women headhunting you like that in your comments?
No. She thinks it's funny, and she actually appreciates all the followers too. Yeah, she gets a kick out of it.
Yeah, so I wanted to go back a little bit because there are a lot of cops that watch this, and I'm from a smaller town agency, so I don't know anything about TAC teams and stuff like that. So I had a question. What does it take to become a sniper? Like, what qualifications do you have to do, and what training do you have to do to become a sniper on the TAC team?
Well, you know, in Oklahoma City, which is a pretty large department, you know, actually the largest in the state,
yeah,
it's a very, very long, drawn-out process. And you know, this might take a minute, but simply put, you have to go through the hiring process to get on the department, which is about 6 months to a year. If you get on the department, you go through an academy, very physical academy. It's kind of, I call it a cross between a boot camp and a college class. And you do that for 6 months. Then when you get out, you go for another 4, 5 to 6 months in an FTO program. Once you pass all that, then you're on your own for a couple of years, and then you're able to try out if you want to for the tactical team. They have tryouts every year. And the tryout, the way I thought about it when I tried out, when I was getting ready for it, I was training for the Olympics. I ran 5 miles a day. I did 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups, because weightlifting is pretty much out the window because you're doing things. You have to have practical strength. So I got ready for it that way. You have to really be in shape because you run a couple miles and then do a lot of exercises. That's just for the tryout portion. And you have to make certain requirements, you know, minimum number of exercises under a certain time period. You have to run I said a couple miles. You got to run a mile and a half under a certain period. And people start, the team is watching you the whole time. They watch your attitude. Your attitude is very, very important. So, and then you have to pass an oral board and, have some pretty tough questions for you during this oral board. And if you pass all that just on the day of the tryout, then you get invited to come to the week-long school, which is pretty much what we call a hell week. And during that hell week, that's, the name it fits. You go through a lot. It's 12, 13, 14, 16-hour days, and you are running and gunning and just doing lots and lots and lots of training, physical training, rigorous physical training, and the team is watching you this entire time. And a lot of times that's where people, if you have an attitude problem or you have a problem with people telling you what to do, then that's going to come out. And at the end of that week-long school, then all the team will get together. I mean, you have your little graduation ceremony, you send everybody away, then the team gets together and they talk about who they liked, who they didn't like, what the problems were, and we vote on who we would like to bring on the team. So if you are fortunate enough to be brought on the team, then that's where the real training begins. And, we train three days a month, and it's, again, very, very, very rigorous, and you go through lots and lots of training. Now, as far as, you go through rifle schools, you go through pistol schools, you go through, if you wanted to be on a sniper team, you're sent to one of several various sniper courses, rifle long-range shooting courses. And so it's just a ton of training that you have to go to even be able to be on the team. And then once you're on the team, the training is just crazy. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of training.
Well, I always thought that in anything like that, where you have to like do something to where you almost don't make it, it makes it more rewarding in the end too. So you're more grateful for that experience. So, so you were on the streets. Your whole career, and don't they give you an opportunity to move up to a detective or something? Did you just love the streets so much that you wanted to spend your whole time on the streets and you didn't want to go into investigations, or what happened there?
Pretty much. I love the streets so much that I did not want to go inside to be a detective. I mean, that's definitely an option. And a lot of guys and girls do that. They do a few years on the street, put in for detective, go inside and start working all the, domestic violences, the burglaries, the auto thefts, everything involved with being a detective. And that, to me personally, although that is very, very noble when people do that, it was not for me personally. And, I could have tested for lieutenant, captain, all that. But again, love the guys that did that, guys and girls who did that. Power to them. We need good supervisors. I'm sure I would have made a good supervisor because I love the job so much, and I was, I was always studying law, case law, and all that stuff. But I just loved being on the street so much. I wanted to be out there actually helping people as much as I could, and helping the younger officers, do their job. And which happened a lot. A lot of the younger officers would always come to me and say, "Hey, what do we do in this situation?" And I love doing that. And that was me. That was me. In my experience, I just wanted to work the streets, and so that's what I did.
Yeah, I love the training. Was my favorite thing to do too. I loved helping officers, because I remember whenever I was 21 and I first started being a cop, and I would sit in my recliner. I'd iron my uniform, and I would sit in my recliner probably an hour or two before my shift started, just sitting in my uniform, waiting to go 10-8. And I was so excited. And then, eventually that goes away, and it just becomes a job. But I always liked bringing the new officers in and seeing that eagerness and that excitement. and it made me it would make me excited again, you know, and they would
Sure.
get excited about things that you haven't been excited about in a while.
Yeah.
And their aura would make me excited to do it again. So training was my favorite thing to do, and dealing with people too. And I moved up into administration, and it didn't suit me very well. So it's actually noble of you to recognize that you didn't want to move up and do something that you might not love to do when you knew that you were doing something that you already loved. So
Yeah, and I'm with you. I also was a trainer in different things. I was a CDT instructor. I also instructed at the academy, or the training center for de-escalation and things like that. So yeah, I really enjoyed training. I still, to this day, I keep up my certifications as a rifle instructor, pistol instructors. And, from time to time, I'll go out and work with some smaller departments and, run them through some rifle drills, pistol drills, whatever. I still do that, and I love to train still.
yeah, are you do you miss it at all already? Because you've only been out for a couple of months, right?
Yeah, I retired April 2nd, so yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I do miss it sometimes, but again, getting older and can't do it forever, and let's face it, the time with the COVID stuff, that kind of played a part of my decision. Also, some of the stuff going on right now across the country, that played a part in my decision. And I just felt like it was time to let the young guys and girls, take the reins.
Yeah, take it from here, because it is getting crazy. So I mean, you did pick a good time to get out. So I wanted to talk about your acting skills. I noticed you said that you work on your acting skills. How do you do that?
So for me personally, with a lot of the quarantining and the COVID stuff going on, most acting related industries are pretty much shut down right now. So, which includes, classes, all the different classes, and training venues are pretty much shut down. So the way that I train is, it's just like being a cop. If you want to be a good cop, or you want to be a good shooter, or you want to be a good CDT instructor, you have to practice these things. So, and I transform that to my acting career. So if I want to be a good actor, I have to practice. So what I do is I'll go out to I got a little man cave out in my backyard, and I'll turn on my Netflix or whatever I feel like watching. I'll pick a certain show, one of my favorite shows, and people who are kind of my type. And when I say type, you have like action shows or cop shows, or maybe a bad guy, because I like to play bad guys too. And so I'll find a show with one of these things I want to practice, and I'll watch the show. They'll do a scene, I'll pause it, and then I'll do the exact scene, practice it various ways, how maybe I would have done the scene. And, I'll do that for an hour or two. And so to me, it's just like exercising my acting. That's the way I train, because it's hard to get together with other actors at this point to be able to, to do scenes. So that's what I do. I watch these shows on TV, and I just practice the scenes. And so that may not be doing any good, but I feel like I'm really working out. So.
Well, I mean, honestly, like what else could you do? But yeah, I mean, at least you're practicing something. It just shows how driven you are to succeed, and you're so consistent with everything. I don't see how in the world you're not going to be successful in everything, man, just because you're so driven. And like I said, whenever I started, a couple months ago, I saw one of your videos, and I was just thrown away about how good your singing was. And then I started looking into you a little bit, and your work ethic just stands out, man. And I don't think I don't think you're going to take no for an answer is what it sounds like. Like you're going to be successful at this.
No. And, in the acting game, as pretty much life itself, I mean, you're going to be told no many, 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 many times. I was looking at, I had this website where my agent sends me projects to audition for, and also you can go through there and look at things that fit your type, and you can just submit for them and you can audition. Well, looking through there, I've got about over 400 acting projects that I've submitted for that I wasn't chosen for, and which is fine. I understand that. And just like in life and anything else, you're going to be told no many, many, many times. So I think, and how do we react to that? I mean, we can either say, well, I tried, I'm out of here. Or we can say, okay, I didn't get that one, but you know what? I'm going to try for this one next. I'm going to keep practicing. I'm going to keep working, and I'm going to try out for this project. I'm going to try out for that project, and I'm going to try to get in the room with this casting director or maybe this producer or whoever. And whatever you want to do, you just got to keep striving and striving and striving to make that happen. I mean, very, very, very rarely is somebody an overnight success. And most of your overnight successes have been working at it for many, many years and been rejected many times. So that's the thing, man. But it's like my wife tells me all the time. She says, you just never give up. You choose what you want to do and you just keep going after it. And I said, well, I don't really know any other way. That's just me. Is it right? Well, it's right for me. I'm just going to keep working at stuff that I like, and I want to make things happen. So, yeah.
It has to be right. That has to be the way, right? And I'm going to ask you this because, like I said, this is my first time doing anything like this. And so I'm going to ask you this because I think sometimes I'm the only one that feels this way, but I have serious doubts creep in my head sometimes, because this is just episode 7, by the way. I don't know if you've seen that, but this is just episode 7. So 7 weeks. 6 months ago, I knew nothing about computers, audio equipment, and I've learned all this stuff on my own. And sometimes I get these thoughts that creep in my head like, man, you're never going to make it. What are you doing? This is silly. You're putting yourself out there. Why? What gives you the right to think that you can email people like Steve Wilkos and email people like Philip Paz and stuff like that? What gives you the right? What are you doing? And I get these thoughts in my head and I've got to shove them out and be like, no. And I keep going and I keep striving every day. Do you get thoughts similar to that, or is it just me?
No, I think everybody, no matter how self-confident they appear to you, trust me, they have self-doubt. They have self-doubt. I've been to auditions for casting directors where I walk out of the room going, man, I just killed that audition. Everything goes perfect. I looked the casting director in the face. I said, hey, how you doing? We do the scene and I kill it. Okay. And I'm like, okay, that was cool. But I've also had those times where I got to walk in Chicago, I got to walk into the room with the casting director who's very, very big in Chicago, does a lot of the big Chicago shows out of there. I go in, I kill the audition, I got a call back, and, did pretty well, I thought. And I didn't get the part, but it's very competitive. So, a lot of times, well, most times you don't. Went to the same casting director several months later, and I walked in, and for some reason, self-doubt got me. It grabbed me by the throat, and I got nervous, and, I did horrible.
Yeah.
And so I walked out, and I said, I'm never going to act again. I'm not going to do it. But, slept on it a few days, had a couple of good meals, and thought, hey, man, stuff happens. That happens to the very best of us. And so, yeah, I have those self-doubts all the time. Sometimes I'm laying in bed at night thinking, man, do I want to keep doing this because nothing's happening? And I'm like you. I push those thoughts out of my head, and I say to myself, hey, just keep going, because if you keep working hard enough, something's going to happen.
Well, the way I look at it is, like me. Let's say, for example, I give you a baseball bat, a wooden baseball bat right now, and I put you behind the plate, and then Randy Johnson's on the mound, right? And let's say, all right, Philip, I'm gonna let Randy Johnson pitch 5 times to you, and you've got to hit a home run. Do you think that you're gonna hit a home run in 5 pitches from Randy Johnson?
No.
If I give you 2,500, if I give you 2,500 to 3,000 pitches, do you think you might hit a home run in there?
Possibly.
Maybe, right? So the way I look at it is just keep coming up to the plate and swinging the bat. And as long as don't just come up and swing the bat lazy, but what I'm saying is come in, keep working, keep trying, keep getting better. And there's no way that someday you're not going to succeed, right? And that's what I'm thinking about this. I may suck right now at this. I told my audience in the monologue of this episode just a few seconds ago that I rewatch my episodes right now, and I'm fully aware. You don't have to talk behind my back because I know I suck at this right now, but I'm working on getting better. I'm going to get better, because you can't blame me. 6 months ago, I'd never done this before, but I guarantee you're a better actor today than you were 6 months ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I say, I'm going to tell you kind of a funny story how I got involved into acting. So I've got 2 sons. They were actually here for a while during the quarantine, but they've actually just went back to Los Angeles 2 days ago, where they're going to work. One of my sons is in the film industry, photography, video editing, all that stuff. So he's going to Los Angeles to work. Well, in 2012, he was doing photography. He bought a new camera, and he came home one day and he said, hey, Dad, I'm going to test out my new camera. Can we go outside and take some pictures? I said, sure. So what do you want me to do? Just walk around. So he took some pictures of me and his mom, just trying out his new camera. And he said, hey, I want to try out the video. So he turns the video on, and he points it at me. He says, say something. So what do you want me to say? He goes, it doesn't matter. Just say anything. And so I had this idea. I said, hang on a second. So I went in the house. I wrote this little 5-minute monologue about a combat soldier with PTSD who's having some issues. And he filmed me doing that, and we're watching it. And he goes, he said, this is not the greatest, but it's not that bad either. He said, you need to take some acting classes. And I was like, I do? So that Christmas, he bought me acting classes at this place in Norman, like I mentioned, the Actor Factory. And on January 3rd, 2012, I took my very first acting class. And when I stepped in front of that camera and did a couple of lines, I was like, man, this is awesome. This is what I want to do. I want to be an actor. And so since then, when you start getting into that world and taking the classes and associating with people in the business and meeting directors, casting directors and producers, and you hear word of mouth about projects that are happening. I got to do a lot of small indie projects around here. I've got to go out to Los Angeles a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, to film some projects, which are not that big, but to me they're fun, and they were. And I did my first national commercial in November. It was a USAA commercial, which played very heavily all over the place during sporting events, football games and whatnot, for several months. And that was my first national project. And man, I was just super stoked about that. And I'm just, like you say, I'm just going to keep working at it and see what happens.
What's it like seeing yourself on TV?
It's cool. It's cool. A lot of people say I don't like to look at myself, and I don't mind it. I think it's really cool. I really enjoy it. I like watching, because I study myself. Okay, maybe I should have looked over there when I said that particular word, or maybe I should have, gave this look, or maybe I should have reacted this way. So I'm always very self-critical and trying to learn how I could do things better.
Well, that's my problem is I've literally, before I started doing this podcast, I've never seen a video of myself. I've never, I've obviously heard recordings of myself and stuff like that, but very rarely. And I started watching this podcast over when I'm editing and I'm watching myself, and I'm like, my whole life, I've walked around thinking I was the coolest son of a gun on planet Earth. And then I watch myself and I'm like, why did no one tell me that I'm awkward?
Yeah, everybody does that, because I look at myself same way when I start, you first hear yourself being recorded, wow, do I really breathe that loud when I'm talking? Or
Yeah.
do I really hold my bottom lip like that when I'm just, looking at people, because it looks really stupid, so.
Oh yeah, it's self-critical, and everybody else is like, I don't see what you're talking about. That's just you, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess you're kind of critical on yourself. I've got to kind of remove that though, because it makes it hard for me to watch my stuff over again, because I hate watching myself, but I have to watch. I'm the editor of this too, so I have to watch myself. I've got to get over it because I hate watching it. I'll watch it one time when I'm editing, and I'll edit what needs to be edited. I'll render the video, and then I'm done with it. I throw it away. I'm like, I'm not watching this up again. So,
No, but you're doing good, man. It's a good concept. I think you're going to do really good. Just keep after it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And you don't know how much that means hearing that. But so I got a question for you.
Hmm?
If you had to pick one right now, which would it be, acting or singing?
That's the exact question my wife asked me. We were sitting out by the pool the other day, and that's the exact question she asked me. And I think it would have to be singing, because I really, really, really enjoy singing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy acting, but singing is just, to make people who make, I sit on YouTube and I watch music videos for, hours on end. And what I said, man, that is really cool. What those people, make these videos and whatnot. And so I think I would choose act or singing, because really when you're making the music videos, you're really kind of acting, and you're being filmed and whatnot. So there's you're kind of doing both. So I think if I had to make a choice, I would probably go with singing.
Yeah. And it's, luckily we're not in a world where you have to do that, but I was just curious which one was kind of closer to your heart. So let me ask you this. So you have an original song, right? And it's called Crazy Love.
Crazy Love.
What goes into did you write the song, or was it written for you?
I wrote it originally, and then my sons are also in the pretty much in the music industry. My sons are very, very talented, way more talented than I am, and so usually they're responsible for getting me into stuff like that. But anyway, I wrote the original song. One of my sons added the music to it, and one of my other son, he helped me with the lyrics a little bit, clean up the lyrics, and it's kind of we collaborated, and we recorded it because I have a little studio out in my man cave where I do all my video auditions for acting, and we also we set up a little recording studio out there, so it turned out really, really good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I saw Crazy Love. The first song I saw you sing, I want to say it was it My Love? Did you sing that song? Or no, it was one of the older songs.
My Girl.
My Girl.
My Girl. What's that?
Is that your big video? What's your one that got the 10 million views?
That was Easy. Easy.
That's it. That's the one I heard. You killed that. But I have a request. I have a request because my favorite one that you do is Tennessee Whiskey, and everybody that's watching this has got to go to his YouTube or Facebook and watch all of his covers because they're crazy. Could you do a little bit of Tennessee Whiskey for me?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right, go ahead. Hold on a second. Let me.
Okay.
Let me do the video. Okay, you're good. Let me hear it.
All right. I used to spend my nights out in a bar room. Liquor was the only love I've ever known. But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back from being too far gone. Now you're as smooth, oh, as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. Now you're as warm as a glass of brandy, baby. And honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time.
Man, that is insane. Like, so before we did this, I was thinking because most people don't do very good with a cappella, and you have to be a truly, truly good singer to be able to sing a cappella with no music. And that was insane. That was
thanks,
crazy.
Man.
You can
thank
tell, you can
I appreciate it.
You're very honed in to your craft. That is insane. So have you taken singing classes, or is this just something that's just natural to you?
No, I can remember being first, second grade, running around on the playground singing songs, and people standing around me listening to me. I've never taken a lesson. I just, I'm a student of humans. And so I watch all these videos. I watch TV growing up. I see how people sing, and I see what people like when people are singing, and I try to mimic that. When I was a little bitty kid, I would sing Elvis Presley because my mom and dad liked Elvis Presley, and I don't know. It just came very very natural to me.
So you probably, because I seen something, I think I seen it was on YouTube or Facebook, but you perform in front of people sometimes, don't you?
Sometimes. I've sang at different venues around Oklahoma City. There's a show called the Oklahoma Opry. I've sang at the Oklahoma Opry. I get asked to sing the national anthem at a lot of different venues. So yeah, unfortunately, however you want to look at it, fortunately, people ask me to sing it at funerals for their loved ones, and which is my honor and my pleasure to do that for people. If I can bring, some sort of good feeling during, a time of bereavement, then yeah, I'm very fortunate to be able to do that, and I love to do that for people who ask me to do that. So yeah, I've sang at different venues. Yes.
That's awesome. And so since you said you've been singing since you were a little kid in front of all your friends and stuff like that, you probably don't have any nerves when it comes to singing then, do you?
I'll tell you what, I went through a period when I was in, I would say like elementary school, or no, junior high school to high school, and maybe a little bit after that. And actually until I got on the police department, I for some reason, I developed this huge fear of public speaking, much less singing. But when I got on the police department, I started taking some classes for instructor development, and, which you kind of had to get up and start talking in front of people. And, when I did that, that feeling kind of went away. The fear of public speaking pretty much went away. And then when I started my acting classes, I took some improv classes where you just stand up and you just go with the flow for whatever situation somebody gives you, and you start acting and just whatever comes out of your mouth. And that probably helped me more than anything to be able to stand up in front of people and act or sing or whatever. But right now, yeah, I can. If I'm on a bus and someone said, "Hey, can you stand up and sing for the bus?" Yeah, hey, what do you want to hear? I'll, you know, a lot of times, like my wife, sometimes, you know, she's not like me at all. She doesn't like the spotlight. She doesn't like people looking at her. And sometimes I'll ask her, "Hey, you got any requests?" And she's like, "Yeah, why don't you sit down and shut up?" So, but no, she loves it, man. She loves it.
Yeah, I bet she does. It's just like anything. Our wives are just like, you know, if people think you're cool, your wife definitely doesn't. You know, my wife is very unimpressed by everything that I'm doing.
Right.
But that's okay. That's okay too. So what was I going to say? What goes into writing a song? Like what, did you have these lyrics always? Is it something you had around for a while and you finally put it down on paper, or what goes into it?
No, it's just that particular song, Crazy Love, is kind of inspired by my my love for the Motown sound and rhythm and blues and soul, which I've always loved that. I sing a lot of country, but I also sing some soul and some rhythm and blues. Not as much, but I love it, man. I love it. And that was kind of the influence for this song, and the old Motown type sound, Marvin Gaye. And so that's where that came from. And just kind of bluesy, you're doing me wrong type song. And that's, you know, I've always loved those, and I just kind of picked up the idea from there.
That's my favorite genre that you do, is the old timey. I don't know if you'd call it crooner, but no, it's not. But the older rhythm and blues, that's what I like. That's what I like from you the most.
Right.
Did you want to sing a little snippet from your original song?
Yeah. Crazy Love. Also, I'd like to say that Crazy Love is available on iTunes, and it's also on my YouTube channel. So go check it out. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check it out on iTunes. You can download it there. Also, check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And come by, say hi, give me a like, and check them out. So anyway, I'll sing a little bit of link. I'm sorry.
Can people just type in your name, Philip Paz, and they'll find you in all those places? Yeah.
If you go to iTunes and search Philip Paz, Crazy Love, and Philip has one L. A lot of people try it with two L's and can't find it.
I noticed that. In this video, I'll edit in how to spell your name in here as well, so that way people can see how to spell your name properly and where to find you. We'll edit in the links and all that stuff. So.
Okay, good deal.
All right. I want to hear a little bit of your original song.
All right, a little bit of Crazy Love. Here we go. I want to hold you in my arms and feel you close to me. I want to stay with you tonight, baby, and be your fantasy. Girl, you know I need your love. I need it like I need to breathe. But you don't want to do none of that, baby. All you want to do is give me, oh, crazy love, crazy love. All you want to do is give me crazy love, crazy love, crazy love. All you want to do is give me crazy love.
Wow, that is excellent. Yeah, that is, you are so good at singing a cappella as well. It just takes years to get there probably. I think I'm a good singer, but all my family says I'm not. So
don't listen to them. Yeah. Don't listen to them.
I feel like I sound good in my head, and my family's like, "Oh, Dad, shut up, please." But yeah, man, you are very talented. You are very driven. I use people like you, like the guy on my hat right here. It says "Keep Hammering." You can't see it on there, but his name is Cam Haynes. He's an ultra marathon runner, and you started early. in your life on the hammering journey, you getting out and hammering stuff. But I started late in my early in my 30s. I just say I'm about 35 now, but I used to weigh 235 pounds, and I lost 70 pounds through running. Took inspiration from this ultra marathon runner.
Oh, good, man. Good for you.
I'm really changing my life. And I weigh 165 pounds now, and
good.
I derive inspiration from people like you that do things like this, and it just shows that it's possible if you just keep going. And that's my favorite thing about you is just your work ethic and your drive and your commitment to all this stuff. And it's good to hear that. No, it's not good to hear because I don't want you to doubt yourself, because you shouldn't. But it's good to hear that somebody else has those doubts. That way, I'm not sitting here thinking that I'm the only person.
No. That's I truly, like I say, man, my entire life, from when I was 18 years old and I joined the military, all I ever wanted to do is help people and hopefully inspire them. So yeah, when I say that, if I say that and you or somebody else goes, wow, that guy can, that guy has self-doubts, but he's really going for it. That's gonna inspire me to do the exact same thing. If he can do it, I want to do it, and I can do it because I see other people doing it. If I can inspire someone to have that mindset, yeah, that's what I want to do. It just goes back to me. I just want to help people. So yeah.
Well, you've 100% inspired me, and I guarantee that I'm not the only one either. So because it's just, like I said, this has been a true honor to have you on this show. Thank you. You didn't have to do this, and you did. And you're a great person. And I'll go ahead and let you go. I know you got other things to do. But yeah. After I sign off, stay on for a second. I got a shirt I want to show you and give you. So I give all a shirt. So stay on the line. And okay, Philip, thanks for coming on. Is there anything else you want to tell the listeners, where they can find you, where they can look at you and stuff like that?
No, like I say, just check me out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm on Twitter. You guys go check me out. Send me a message. I get a lot of messages. I would respond to as many as I can. But thank you guys for tuning in. Zach and Cops, Criminals, and Commandos. It's gonna be big, and I hope you guys keep tuning in to check him out.
Okay, thank you, Philip, and thank you everybody for listening. I am 10-7. Till next week.
See ya.
Cops, criminals, commandos. Cops, they serve and protect. Criminals, try to earn their respect. Commandos, strike when opposition is a threat to our seas. Govern the country against foreign enemies. First episode was the cop and the criminal. Now we got commandos like 5-star generals. Come to share their war stories from the streets to the pen, all the way to overseas. Band of brothers on 3 separate paths. Bring them all together, now we got a podcast.